IREX is a nonprofit organization committed to promoting more just, prosperous, and inclusive societies around the world. Many people know IREX for the work we do on youth empowerment, education, access to information, and building civic institutions. But we began with a single focus: bridging geopolitical divides by fostering the exchange of scholars, teachers, and ideas between the US and the Soviet Union.
The core of the exchange was to maintain open channels into societies that were to a considerable extent closed. This was right in the Cold War, and there were very few other channels.
In its first year alone, IREX facilitated the exchange of more than 100 scholars, which served as a bridge between the United States and the Soviet Union. And since 1968, we've had over 20,000 exchange participants worldwide.
The history of IREX is a history of change. The work of IREX after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 changed dramatically. What began as a people-to-people exchanges organization is now a global organization operating in 122 countries that promotes just, prosperous, and inclusive societies.
IREX started as an organization that believes in human potential.
We do this by engaging and empowering youth, by cultivating leaders at all levels of society, by strengthening institutions, and by extending access to quality education and information.
40% of the world's population is under age 24. And with this youth population comes a host of opportunities for the future. And our experience shows that young people are one of the primary drivers of this positive change.
This is an organization that is really focused on youth empowerment, education, civil liberties, an organization that really does believe in a just and peaceful world. And when I see the programs run by IREX, it really is bringing that together.
We've secured a youth development project in Guatemala. This project is going to develop a group of talented young leaders who can impact the political landscape in Guatemala for many years.
Our global teacher leadership programs are investing in secondary teachers from around the world and the United States so they can transform their classrooms and ignite student learning and success. Every year, the teachers that we train will impact more than 1 million students over the span of their teaching careers.
My teaching has drastically changed, actually. And I've seen that the students enjoy the teaching more than ever. If I teach them leadership skills and methods of working on problems that arise, then they are going to contribute to the development of the nation.
Change requires leaders. But IREX is not just working with presidents or CEOs. IREX was working with leaders at all levels of society: the teachers, the librarians, the civic activists.
We cultivate leaders who strive to serve others in their communities. The Mandela Washington Fellowship is a program where we bring in young African leaders from 49 countries in sub-Saharan Africa to the US, and they are placed in institutions where they go through executive leadership training for 6 weeks. They return to their home countries and they have opportunities to continue their leadership journey. The Mandela Washington Fellowship has deepened the connections between the United States and Africa.
Reforming public institutions can be a tremendously difficult task. IREX has been able to use a flexible and adaptive approach to helping people within those institutions engage with their communities and really respond to community needs.
Jordan is a developing country. It is committed to ensuring that all citizens receive equal access to opportunity, yet it does also suffer from cultural norms and expectations that limit the roles of women. Takamul works on improving knowledge of gender equity principles and changing perceptions. 44% of our target population now see gender-based violence as unacceptable.
Media and information work is the oxygen of democracy. Without vibrant information, without free flows of information, without the kind of important, relevant, timely information that people need to make decisions about themselves, about their communities, about their families, then there can be no development, there can be no democracy. That's why IREX's work in terms of our security for journalists and for people who work in civil society organizations is so critically important.
IREX opened its doors in Ukraine in 1995. We've stood by Ukrainian civil society and media throughout the 2000s. Learn to Discern helped Ukrainians cope with an onslaught of disinformation and propaganda that was pouring in over the border when the conflict broke out in eastern Ukraine.
I think the Learn to Discern strategy is really what makes it special. By targeting the people that it trains, the idea is that they then go and spread these ideas to the people around them, thus creating a space where critical thinking is nurtured and media is engaged with in more sophisticated ways.
In Nicaragua, reporters sometimes suffer harassments or aggression or espionage. The Voices for All program has the goal to strengthen independent media in Nicaragua. These key media outlets, we collaborate, inform people with a balanced information in order for people to make better decisions of their life.
Over the last 50 years, we have grown from 8 projects to over 70 projects, from 9 employees to 400, and have extended our reach from 5 countries to 120. And most importantly, we have grown from touching 100 lives to over 9 million lives.
IREX still follows that same approach to build the abilities of civil society, to build the abilities of media organizations, and all the time with an eye on improving human positioning and human potential.
IREX is really focused on investing in the people who are capable of not only helping themselves, but of helping to create transformational change in their own communities. By developing the potential of people to lift up their own communities, we are investing in a brighter future for all of us.